Ladies and gentlemen, this is Steve Eyes, and you're on the Eyes is Watching channel. Today, I want to go over my Ancestry results. Now, this was surprising to me and also not surprising at all. You'll find out a little later. But I sent in my Ancestry, a while back. They send you a little vial that you have to spit in until it gets to a certain level, and then you twist it closed, and then you send it back somewhere, and then it goes into some data center, and who knows, straight to the Illuminati. But it goes into this data center, and they send you back your results, and to be honest, I think it's very accurate. It was actually insanely accurate, and I'll go over the results in a bit, but I want to go through my background with you guys so you understand, where I'm from. I was born in Baghdad, Iraq, during the Gulf War. Obviously a very chaotic time, and we had to leave, so we escaped pretty much. My dad was fighting in the war at the time, in the Iraq war. We took what we could, and we left, and we went into Turkey as refugees, and a whole lot of crazy things happened in between. I'll go over this story maybe some other time down the line, but I'm gonna give you a quick rundown of the story. We went into Turkey. We were refugees there for a while, and then we came to Canada. So I was around 3 years old. I don't remember much, to be honest. Pretty much nothing. So I'm as Western as you can get. I grew up here. Growing up, we moved to Vancouver. And growing up in Vancouver, I never really cared about race. Race was not an issue to me at all. I didn't care where I was from. I didn't care about my own race. When it started to matter is when people started asking me, where are you from? I was like, where am I from? I had to go back to my mom and ask her. I'm like, where am I from? I don't know. Because, you don't care about these things when you're that young. I think, teachers would ask me, so I would have to find a response. I mean, I don't even know where I'm from. Didn't matter. Growing up, I was into things like, like rap. I was obsessed with it. I was obsessed with music. I was obsessed with hip hop. And, I always cared about what I liked. Like, what I liked was who I was. Who I was around didn't determine who I was. My race didn't determine who I was. The city I even grew up in doesn't determine who I am. I am whatever I say I am, and if I wasn't, then why would I say I am? But growing up, I didn't care. So I went to my mom and asked her, because people kept asking me, where are you from? So my mom said, tell them you're from Turkey, right? Tell them you're from Turkey. Because we came from Turkey at the time. And, I was saying you're from Iraq, I think my parents even thought people would judge us. So we tried, staying away from telling people where we were from originally at the beginning, especially me being in school. So I would just tell people I'm from Turkey. People were like, oh, okay, that's weird. And it's weird how they would look at you once they found out you're from the Middle East. Your teachers too, like, oh, like you're, I don't know, this rare breed or something, like a race that's close to extinction, which, I'll go into a little later, which you're absolutely right. Chaldean, right? Christian or Catholic Iraqis of Assyrian descent. We speak Aramaic, the language of Jesus, right? So if you know about the history, you know where we're from. We're Chaldean, which is Christian Iraqis. So yeah, growing up, I didn't really care. So I always wondered where I was from, because if you guys just take a quick look at me and had to guess, where I'm from, what would you guys say? My skin's quite light, right? Would you say, man, this guy's probably white? I don't know. You know what I mean? Growing up, looking at myself in the mirror, I was like, oh, I guess I'm white. I don't know. There's other kids that have the same skin color as me, so I assumed I'm white. European, maybe? Maybe I have some European blood in me. So I did the test, and it came back surprising me and also not surprising me at all. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the test. There you have it. Now, ethnicity estimate. This region is where I'm from. As you can see here, Middle East, 44%. Turkey and the Caucasus, 39%. Iran, Persia, 17%. Now, if you add all these up, they'll add 100%. So I'm 100% from this area. Now, I want to tell you guys why that surprises me, because a lot of people have done this test. and they're from around the world. They have DNA all over the place. They'll be like 4% Irish, 2% German, from France, Britain. So, you'll see white people doing it, and they'll show like 2%, from somewhere in Africa, and they're all surprised. So I did this test thinking, who knows where I'm from? I'll be from all over the place. I'll be from around the world. I have DNA all around the world. So I did this test. Ancestry comes back, and it's like, nah, you're 100% from right here, the Middle East. That's it. Because if you guys look here, right, in this region, they have these three highlighted. But where they meet is where they assume you are from. Right now, it's not highlighted. I guess they changed the format here on this website, because right here where they connect is where they think you are from, and they got it down to a T. They got it very accurate. So this is really good, you guys. This is very accurate. I would suggest anyone out there, if you want to know, where your ancestors are from originally, take the ancestry test, because this is great. So here you have it, people. I'm 100% from the Middle East. No European, nothing else in me. So let's just go over some of this because this is pretty cool. So 44% Middle East. So these primarily are located in Egypt, Israel, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Saudi Arabia, Syria, United Emirates, Yemen. Interesting. They don't say Iraq? Huh, interesting. Okay, well, let's read about this region right here. Geography and human history have kept much of the Middle East region perpetually in the spotlight. Yeah, tell me about it. It sits between Eurasia and Africa and is home to some of the world's earliest civilizations. It is also the birthplace of the three of the world's major religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Yeah, you're welcome, world. We destroyed the earth with our three religions. You're welcome. With the most holy places of those faiths scattered from Jerusalem to Mecca. Since it was first inhabited, this vital region has been a natural center of learning, trade, culture, and, keyword here, people, conflict. Absolutely. So 44%. So majority of where I'm from is the Middle East. And in this region, I would just say Middle East, because they say Persian, Turkey too. I always considered all this pretty much the Middle East. So Turkey and the Caucasus, primarily located in Armenia, Georgia, Azerbaijan, I can't say that, and Turkey. So this is very interesting, because when I see Armenian people, I'm like, those guys look very similar to us. Like, they look very similar to Assyrian. I'm like, I assumed I was going to have some of this DNA in me. It just makes sense because of how similar their people look to Chaldeans. So let's read a little bit about this region here. Our Turkey and the Caucasus region is home to the world's oldest known leather and shoe and winery. Interesting, they start off with that one line. Like, really, you couldn't find something more interesting about the place? Both were found in the Armenian highlands, which was also the birthplace of ironworking, and some say the Garden of Eden. Okay, the made-up story. Okay. The Anatolian Plateau stretches to the west, rugged, mountainous country that slopes down to the shores of the Aegean Sea as a physical bridge between Europe and Asia. This region has seen empires, Greeks, Persians, Romans, and Ottomans, come and go for thousands of years. Very interesting, right? And Turkey is like the bridge here into Europe. So that's like the more north you go, the more white you get, as you can see here. So Iran and Persia, 17%. Now this one surprised me. This one was the surprising one, because if you guys know anything about the politics in the Middle East, people from Iraq and Syria, these places, do not like being called Persian. Okay? That is very highly offensive to call someone from the Middle East Persian, or even, vice versa, calling someone that's Persian Arab. They don't like that at all. That'll start a real beef right there. Although my people, Assyrians, we don't consider ourselves Arab, but we're from around that area, so you get what I mean. So Iran and Persia, Bahrain, Iran, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. About this region, mountains are the defining feature of Iran's regional landscape. From the Greater Caucasus in Azerbaijan to Kopet and Dag Range. I have no idea how to say that, and I'm from this area. Isn't that funny? Along the border of Iran and Turkmenistan, high plateaus and deserts are also common the further east you go. It's the land of the ancient Persian Empire, once ruled by Cyrus the Great, and still home to a variety of languages, literature, and cultures that have proved more lasting than any kingdom. Yeah, Persian is, I guess the Persian Empire is one of the oldest empires. So there you have it, people. This is where I am from. I thought it was going to be a little more exciting, but this is it. Very interesting, right? Have you guys ever seen someone that's like 100% in like one tiny region here? Because that's pretty crazy to me. So there you have it. This is where I'm from. And what's very interesting is growing up, how much I didn't care about, where I was from, how much race didn't matter to me until people started asking me, till, teachers would ask you and they would have this weird reaction when they knew you were from Iraq. Everything changed. It's like the vibe changed. People would change. A lot of people, it doesn't matter who they are from around the world. It's like Middle Eastern has some type of like negative connotation to it in a way that no other place has. Like you'll tell people from around the world that you're from Iraq, and that automatically changes the vibe in the room. They're like, whoa, because Iraq is so, like it said, in the spotlight for conflict mainly. When people think of Iraq, they have images of bombing, of war, suicide bombing, explosions. It's like these are attributed to Iraq, and the word Iraq, like the name itself, brings all of these up front. And it's very awkward to tell people. I always try avoiding it right away because of people's preconceived notions of that area. Now, like I said, growing up, I didn't care, and it got very awkward because I was around 10 or 11, turning 11, when 9/11 happened. So you can imagine how awkward it is telling kids in the class, or if they already knew, they would just be like, whoa, this guy's from that area. Because right after 9/11, what happened? Bush declared war on Iraq for reasons still unknown and up for debate, chemical weapons, all that. It's very interesting that he decided to go to war with Iraq for the second time, and yeah, it's a very weird thing to be from this place that's always known for conflict. And if you know some of my people, Assyrians, you would know that they're very peaceful people. They're not like warriors like the ancient Babylonians and the ancient Assyrians. Not anymore. These people are very devout Christian and Catholic, and they're very pacifist. They really would rather die than kill. A lot of people in Iraq that are Chaldean, a lot of them would just sacrifice themselves before they kill anyone. This is actually in their nature, and it's mainly because of the religion and how strict they follow the religion of Christianity and Jesus Christ. Jesus was a sacrificial lamb. He wasn't a warrior. So people that are of Chaldean descent, Assyrian descent, the same thing, have that same mentality. So we've been slaughtered for many years, genocide after genocide. It got so bad that, to be honest, a lot of us are almost extinct. Our language is one of the oldest languages in the book, you know what I mean? Aramaic. And we've been through so much genocide there that I mean, I don't know. There's still people living in close to northern Iraq, which is Kurdistan, which is great because Chaldeans are more protected up there. But anywhere else, it was just a green light to kill them off completely. Every time a war broke out, Chaldeans would be mass slaughtered, along with the Yazidis and all the other minority groups. All around the Middle East, Chaldeans have been subjugated to terrorism, Muslim extremism, and straight up genocide for years. So It's great that we all left, because to be honest, there might not be a me or my family. We might not be here if we didn't leave Iraq at that time. A lot of Chaldeans might have that same story for you. Well, they will have that same story. They'll say, if we didn't get out of Iraq, who knows what would have happened to us? Very good chance we wouldn't be here. So shout out to my uncle for getting us here. You know what I mean? He got a lot of Chaldeans out. And I would suggest, if any way you can get out of there, I would suggest getting out, because that's not a safe place for us, you know. And yeah, it's great growing up on the West, but it was always awkward, you know, socially too. It's like, you know, growing up, 'cause you're from a different country, and that's a whole nother subject. I'll get into that later, maybe in a podcast or something. But yeah, people, there you have it, you know, from Iraq. This is where I am from. So there you have it, people. This is Steve Eyes, and you're watching Eyes is Watching. Please, if you like the content, like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.